Spring Street represents the heart of just how far the downtown of Los Angeles fell. Once it was called the Wall Street of the West. This former banking center was home to the Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the old Crocker Bank, Security Pacific, and a long list of others, until the 1960s and early 1970s, when it all ended as the banks moved into the new downtown or out to suburbia. Spring Street then became part of the past with no obvious future. Until now.
Those are big units here. Let me try this.
One man who saw the future of Spring Street before there even was a future is Isaac Shomoff. The Israeli immigrant bought buildings on Spring well before it was even possible to convert them to apartments. He literally gambled that one day that change would come. His first purchase was the California Canadian Bank.
The reason I came down here, I love the architectural. I like the design of each building. If you look at them, see how the architectural, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. So that's what I fell in love with. And my background, I used to renovate antique cars, take an antique cars and refurbish them. And I fell in love with those style of building, and I wanted to take one, which this is the first building I took over. And I decided that I'm gonna renovate it into the original condition. But there was nothing to do with it. I mean, what was I gonna do with it?
Because you couldn't really use it as office space or lease it as office space.
No parking, and the city requirement was very, the requirement for seismic and for parking requirement and all that stuff. I couldn't do nothing with it, so I left it sitting for some time.
You had to leave it empty.
I left it empty. Purchase it.
Yeah.
And I left it empty for another 10 years.
10 years before the first loft apartment could be crafted out of the old bank. But as all of downtown has risen once again, once he got the approval to introduce apartment life here, the race was on, and Shomoff watches almost like a proud father as his building fills up with new downtown residents.
It's perfect. It's wonderful. The commute's not bad at all, going from home to work.
Yeah,
Love
it's
that
like
part.
10 steps.
Yeah, that's right. And I can work till whatever hours I want to. It's wonderful because it's a big open space. It's what I need as a photographer, as an artist, as a business person. I have my office space here. I live here. My cats can run free while I'm working. It's just perfect for me.
Now, what is the downside to all this? I mean, what are the times that you look around and say, Beverly Hills is looking good?
Yeah, sidewalk life, I would say. Just the actual environment, because I walk a lot just to different areas around here in the garment district. So it'd be nice, if the streets were a little cleaner.
It's the kind of space I needed. I was living in the Valley before, operating out of a 2-bedroom apartment, trying to use 1 bedroom as an office. I didn't have any creative space. It was tough to have business appointments come and see me because they're coming to an apartment. It felt unprofessional.
Yeah.
But coming downtown, it's a very professional atmosphere, very energizing kind of experience just to be down here.
Shomoff has more than one building now, and they are all filling up. He has empty neighboring structures next door to him, and now those are all set to become condominiums as well. And the story of the resurrection of downtown is becoming complete.
Thank God I did not give up. I was able to hold on, and the adaptive reuse came along, and
it changed your whole life.
Oh, completely. Not my life, but it's good for me.
Sure.
I love it. I love it.
The snowball of development downtown is now seriously picking up speed. Around the corner from Isaac, the old Golden Gopher Bar has gone from a criminal dive to a hip hangout.
The fire department and the police department have both been great to us. They come by once a week just to remind us how excited they are that we're here and that they're not dragging hookers and dead bodies out. So it's nice.
This was completely abandoned. Each property is being lifted from obscurity and climbing back into the economic mainstream. It's difficult to pinpoint who's the happiest about the renaissance of downtown, but it could be the longtime merchants. Just ask jewelers like Renee Soleimani.
It's changed a lot. I'm not so afraid of going out. After being here for 27 years, I'd be afraid sometimes just going across the street. I'd be run down a couple of times. People run after you, and try to hurt you. Now, it's not like that at all anymore. It's a lot different.